Hello. Today is 13th of June and it's 8:05 p.m. here in New York, and we are starting the second day of the Selenium class. This is the June batch of 2013. All right. Welcome to all of you, and I hope you guys are having a great time learning Selenium. You might have watched the first video. Now, for those of you folks who are attending here for the first time today, because there are a few students who are coming here for the first time today. Again, welcome to you folks. This is the second class, so today we will be starting off from the same point where we left off in the last class, and I recall that in the last class I have covered the following. We have done the introduction, we told you how we would be conducting this course. And the content of the course is on our website, listed on the website. So if you go to Trainingrite.com, and if you scroll down to Selenium Training, and then if you look into what we will be covering, everything is listed out here, right? So step by step, we're going to be, working on in order to get the best out of this course. So we'll be covering each and every topic which is listed out there. All right? Okay, now. Registered students also have access to the videos. They should and they must have access to the Google group. If you do not have access to the Google group, we will have trouble attending this class in future, because I tend to send everything onto your Google group. So if you have any issues with that, please let us know. Do not wait till the last moment, because you will be able to get all your invitations through the Google group. So make sure that you have access to that. Okay, with that said, let us get started. So the things which we talked about in the previous class, where, I have walked you through with Selenium. There are three components of Selenium. There is something called Selenium IDE and Selenium RC Server, and then Selenium WebDriver. Now, in terms of Selenium IDE, and RC Server and WebDriver. Now, we had briefly looked at IDE. I have told you things about where to get your IDE from, Selenium IDE from, right? Where to get it from. Number B, hello. It's been a long day. Number B. Install how to install Selenium IDE. Is install 2L or 1L? 2Ls, I guess. Install IDE, how to do that. So if anybody has any issues as where to get IDE from, you and I, we need to talk about that, because I have already shown you where to get it from. So I hope that you already got Selenium IDE. I hope you already installed that. This should take literally, I'm not exaggerating, this should take 1 minute where to get the Selenium from. To install that will take 1 more minute. So within 2 minutes you should have these things taken care of. We also talked about briefly how to use it. So I kind of like walked you through the interface of it. What do you mean by interface? The looks of it. So we have the menu item on the top, and then we have the toolbox, and then we have this section, and then we have the section on the right. Why am I drawing when I can show you that live? So let me take you there. And then using the Selenium IDE, we are going to create an automated test today. All right. So the way we're going to be doing that is I'm going to take you quickly to Firefox, and in Firefox we will be going to Tools, and under Tools you'll be going into Selenium IDE. Now what you see here is something which I quickly walked you through in the previous class. So you see something in here like whatever you're seeing here. We shouldn't be looking into that, and the way we will not be looking into it is if we come back to this is how it will be in the beginning, correct? Okay, this is how it is going to be. Now, let us start off with the test case. What is going to be a test case? Now, we have to take up a test case, so it doesn't matter what kind of a test case we will take up. So imagine that we are going to work for a company, right? What kind of a company, I don't know. So let me just go and do this. Go to Google and let's say, I remember we were doing something with eBay. I guess that's how I started off. And eBay was just an example. I mean, it doesn't matter whether we want to do it for eBay or we want to do it for something else. It really doesn't matter. But so we took eBay as an example. So I want to continue with that. So if our test case was something like this, the English test case was, now let me, I don't know if I had saved that test case or not. So let me just go in here and take a look if I had saved it. Now, if you want to stay as close to the layout of what I have on my machine, then you need to go and then create a folder called Selenium on your C drive. And in there, we could go and then, create some more folders, which I will talk about sometime today. So let me take a look into one of the test cases here. I don't know if this Buckaroo. Okay. We'll look into this test case. Imagine that you are working for this company called www.buckaroo.com, right? They have hired you. So let's go to this website. Let's take a look into what this website is. And eBay, you could take it as your assignment once I show it about this. So this is some new website. I don't know what this website is all about. I have no affiliation to this website, but it so happens that we have here a test case for it. So let's go and then check it. So this is that website. In this website, we have to do the following. Let's say the developers are building this website, and then we want to make sure, they want to make sure that this website is working fine. So we have to go and test. So what are we testing? So they have to give us some sort of test cases to test, right? So this is going to be the test case. So before I walk you through this test case, what it is, right? Let us look into this website. What is this website about? So let's spend like a minute or two trying to understand what is this website. This Buckaroo is a local shopping news and events website. All right. So basically, maybe there are some events happening, so people would be posting those events. So as you can take a look in here, there is going to be an event, Charlotte versus Columbus, Thursday, June 13th, which is today at 7:15 p.m. There's some basketball event is happening, right? So, so like that, they have posted some events in here. So probably you can, if you have an account, you can also post this. So if I go and click on this, it is telling me to sign in, right? If I want to post, details of an event, I have to go and I have to sign into this account. Now, how can I sign into this account? If I have an account with them, then I can log in, right? Now the question is, do I have an account with them? I don't know. So let me just try to see if I have an account with them. So QA online trainer at gmail.com, and password, I'm going to try my usual password in here and try to sign in and see if I have an account. So it comes back, the email address and password you entered is incorrect, right? So maybe I forgot my password, so I'm going to go into forgot password, right? And when you go into forgot password, now take a look into it. Now it says, sorry, we could not find your email address. So that means that I don't have an account. If I don't have an account, then I have to sign up for that account. So I click on that and I come in here and I go into if I go into QA online trainer at gmail.com, and password, I will use the password as uppercase PASSW0RD as my password. And the city I am in is New York, and the state is New York, and the zip code is 10018. And I can go and then I can subscribe. Okay. So, I want you to look, the way you can become a good automated tester is if you don't worry about the program which you have to write. Of course, eventually we have to write the program. We have to go and then write the program. But before we could write the code, before we could write the script, right, we have to understand what we are doing. So in order to understand what we are doing, I just came in here and I'm doing whatever I'm doing. So before even you do anything like that, you must have a test case. So here is that test case. Here is the test case. So the test case states that in order for me to, the test cases, in order for me to certify or in order for me to state that this website is working, I have to go and test what? Test the sign up functionality of buckaroo.com, right? So this is my test case to test the sign up function. Not sign in, but the sign up. There's a difference between sign in and sign up. Sign up is becoming a new account. Sign in is if you already have an account, you are signing in. So we will do the sign up first, and then once we do the sign up, then I will explain you everything and I'll go through how to do that. Then I will call one of you guys, right? We have about a good dozen people here, 13, 14 people in here. So I'm going to call one of you guys to help me do the sign in, right? So you will do the sign in. So I could call anybody. I might call Bill, I might call Jeff, I might call Lynn, I might call Mary, Adil, Nisha, Sudha, Usha, Vakar. I could call anybody, right? If I did not take your name, that means that I did not scroll down enough. So don't be upset, don't get offended that I did not take your name, right? So anyway, so the point here is focus, right? I want all of you to focus. I see here that at least don't want to take the names, don't want to call your name out, but a couple of you folks are not focusing, and I can see that. My system basically tells me if you are not focusing, right? If I have to take names, it is not fair, but you know who you are, so focus please, right? Okay, the idea here is we have to go and then we got to do the, to test the sign up functionality of this. In order to do that, first of all, I have to come up with the English steps. So these are the English steps which I have. I mean, rather than typing it, I saved your time by picking it up because we already have it. So what is the first step? I have to navigate to buckaroo.com. I have to navigate there, right? Second step is click on the subscribe new button. So let us see. So navigate to that is, let's say I came here. This is the site. And the next thing is click on the subscribe. No, I don't want to click on the subscribe. Here it says the click on the subscribe now button. I don't want to do that. I want to, let's say I want to post something. So I will click on post. Now notice that when you click on post, you have been brought to this page. And just for the heck of it, let's click on subscribe. Even to the subscribe, okay, when you click on the subscribe, you have been brought to this page, right? So it wants you to create an account by email address. So I guess this is fine. Clicking on the subscribe button is fine. And then after you do that, according to this test case, it says enter the first name, enter the last name. I don't have anything like that over here, right? So when this test case, when these steps were written, probably they were written, if I go back in here and take a look, see here, this was in October 2012. So I pulled out this in October 2012. That is when this document was created. So at that time, they might have something like first name, last name, and then the email address, then enter city, state, and then click on that. Now, if you look at it, right, maybe they had made some changes to it. So the first name, last name boxes, they got rid of them. So we only have what is called email address here, password, and city, state. So I can probably I can go here, go and save this as the Buckaroo revised test case, right? So that way we know that if I go in here, we have a Buckaroo, original Buckaroo, and then almost a year later we have a revised one. And in the revised one, we don't have this, right? We don't have this. So step number 3 and 4 are gone. So this probably rather than just leaving it as so I'm going to do this, right? and save it, Control S, to this becomes 5. Okay, so this is the revised test step. So this is what we got to do, right? So now, if I can do a manual test, this is what, if I follow these steps, this is what I would do. I would come to wherever, maybe to my Firefox, and I can go to www.buckaroo.com, right? And so this is like satisfying step number 1. Navigate there, right? That is happening. Step number 2, I have to go and then I have to click on the subscribe now button, which is this. And step number 3 is, according to my documentation, enter the email address. So I'm going to go QA online trainer at gmail.com, right? Okay, then enter the password, and I'm entering the password as password. And then according to this, I did this, entered the email. Now I'm entering the city, state, and zip, right? And city, state. So I would have entered city is, let's say I'm in New York right now. State is New York. And the zip code is 10018. And now I basically have to go and click on the sign up or the subscribe button. So this is not even a sign up. This is a subscribe button. Subscribe button. Right? Looks like a button. Okay, so that's what I have to do. I will not do this. At this moment, I will not do this, because what I'm going to do, if I do this, of course, it is going to go and then create an account for this email address and for this password. What I want to do is I want to automate this. Manually, you know as how to do this, correct? Is there any person here who has an issue with the manual testing of it? I just did it, right? Except for the fact that I did not click on the subscribe button, but the rest of the stuff I did it, right? So now, if I have to automate it, how can I automate this, right? How can I do the automation for this? To do the automation for this, we got to do the following. First of all, what you have to do, let me just close everything, right? Let me close everything, right? Okay, I am going to bring up the Firefox browser. You might question and you might say that why Firefox browser? The answer to that is, the reason I'm bringing up Firefox browser is because Selenium IDE works off only with the Firefox browser. That is the drawback of it, right? That it works only off Firefox, right? So now the question is, if you have to do the automation for Internet Explorer, how would you do it? Now, just bear with me for another 20 minutes or so. Let me do it for the Firefox, and then once I do it for the Firefox, then I will show it to you how easy it is to go and then do it for my Internet Explorer. All right? Okay, so let us get started. So I'm going to bring up my Selenium IDE. Okay, I want to draw your attention to this button, right? I want to draw your attention to that button. What is that? Whenever you open up Selenium IDE, this button goes into a mode by itself. It goes into a mode which is the recording mode. So if I bring my mouse and hover over it, it says that now it is recording. It is going to record now. Whatever I do now on the browser, it is going to record. So if I don't want to record, just click on it and then it will stop the recording. But I guess I do want to record, right? Now, what is that I want to record? What I want to record are these steps. One by one, these steps I have to do. So what is the first step? Navigate to buckaroo.com. So what is navigation? I would come in here and do www.buckaroo.com, right? So that is my first step, which I have done. Now, this is not how the site looked like. BUC Buckaroo. Right. So this is the right one. Right? Okay, that's the right one. Okay, now behind the scenes, right? I have performed this first step of navigating. Let me just have a sneak peek, right, and see what is happening here, right? So if you see here, right now nothing happened here. Right? Yeah, as you can see, nothing happened here. There's nothing recorded. No need to panic, right? Because actually it did something. What it did, the recording part of going to a website goes in here. So this, see the base URL, that goes in here. Now, whatever actions I perform on this side, which is clicking on this button and all that would get recorded, and you will see something under command, something under target, and something under value, right? So according to this, right, I've completed step number 1. So I need to go and do step number 2, which is click on the subscribe button. So let me come in here, click on the subscribe button. Here I go, I clicked on the subscribe button. When I clicked on the subscribe button, basically what happened here is it brought me to this page. Again, I want to just see, not that you want to see if every step you want to go and then see here what is happening, but just for the heck of it, I want to see. And as you can see here, it did record something in here. It said open and it said click, and I'm going to explain you all that in a minute. Let me first complete the steps in here. So the next step is enter the email address. So let me enter the email address, which is QA online trainer at gmail.com. All right. Okay. Now the password is going to be password uppercase PASSW0RD. So I entered the password. City again is going to be New York, comma NY, comma 10018. And now I am going to go and hit this subscribe button. Right? Here I go, I click on the subscribe button. If everything is good, it should create my account. So it did create my account. And now the fact that it says here, welcome QA online trainer gmail.com, that means that it had created this account. So how can I confirm that it had created this account? So if it gives me this welcome and this email address, that means that it created this account, right? It created this account if it gives me that. So what I want to do is I want to store this information, right? I want to store this information, or I want to something called assert, right? I will explain you what this assert is. I want to store that information or I want to assert, right? So what do you mean by assert, right? It is nothing but, for those of you folks who have done QTP, it is like a checkpoint. Right? And in simple English, let's say this is Canada, right? And this is USA, right? So now, if you are going from USA into Canada, if you are going in there is a checkpoint here, right? There is a immigration thing here. This, you bring your car here, and then they will check something. What are they checking? Are they looking at the color of your car? Are they looking at your hair color, or what are they looking? They're looking for some sort of identification. That are you Mr. or are you Miss or are you whoever you are? Right? So they ask you for an identification. So you take your license, and this is your picture in the license, and this is your address and all that, right? They're going to look into that. Or if you don't have the license, then you have your passport, and in the passport you will say that, okay, I am a UK resident, and then in there it'll show your picture. So they'll ask you, what is your name, what is your last name, what is this, where do you say, some sort of things they will look for, right? And then if everything is good, they let you go, right? So what we are doing is we entered the email address and all that. Then we clicked on that. If everything is good, so here we are in the checkpoint. So we are looking for this welcome, and whatever we entered in here as that, is that the same, right? Welcome QA online trainer. So I am going to look for it. So how can you look for it? It's easy. That is, looking for it is something called an assertion. Assertion is, can you confirm that this is what will show in the page? So how do you do the assertion on this on the website? So you're going to come in here, not here, on the website. So you're going to come in here and highlight that, because we are recording right now. I'm not writing any code or anything. Highlight that, right click, And see here, these are the commands. These are the commands. Assert that the text present is welcome QA online trainer, right? Or assert text ID, right? So if you see, there are many commands here: verify, assert, and store. So in the interview, they're gonna, I mean, the interview is not gonna be this basic that they're gonna ask you the difference between what is verify and what is assert. But let's say if the topic comes up, what is the difference between a verify and an assert? Verify means that, okay, you are verifying that, the text here is welcome QA online trainer, right? And let's say if it is not, because next time when you create a new account with a new different email address, it's not going to be QA online trainer. It is going to be welcome, Mary, or welcome Lynn, or welcome Jeff, or welcome Bill, so whatever your email address is. So if I write the script and if I'm looking for this particular thing, it is going to, in the verify, it is going to fail, right? It is going to fail. So if it fails, and then after that, if I am doing some more things, like I am entering a new title here, and so the whole test will fail if you use assert. If you use verify, it will say that, oh, this part did not work, but it will still continue with the test. So you would be able to go ahead and then do the rest of the test. But with assertions, what happens is, if one of the things fails in the test, the whole test is failed, and you cannot continue any further with the assertion, right? And with the verify, you say that, okay, this is only in the recording. Once we get into writing the script and all that, I will show you as how to overcome that. But let's say if you do not want to assert the text, because the text is, we are saying that always whenever I'm running the script, it has to be QA online trainer. It is not going to be QA online trainer, because next time when you create a new account, it will be welcome something else. So rather than asserting, or rather than verifying the text, the exact text, what we have to do is verify the text at this location. So the location it has, if you see here, it is giving you assert text ID equals CT00 underscore header. So that is the location. That is the location. So at that location, it is going to verify next time if there is some text or not, right? So rather than taking assert text present, so it is better if you take the assert text at that ID, at that location, right? So the difference between the assertion and verify is, if you use verify, then what happens is, if the verification fails, it would still let you continue. So let's say when you are crossing the border and then they ask you for something and the verification fails, then they're not going to put you in jail. They're not going to make you turn around and go back and say that you cannot enter. They might give you some warning, say that, hey, next time make sure that you have something good, but then they let you go. So that is the verification. But assertion is, if it fails, then you cannot continue any further. You cannot continue any further. So that's the difference between the assertion. So let's say if you see now, these are the steps as we see. I'm going to explain you this, what this step is, what this step. So one of the steps here, which I did not complete yet, would be over here, where I would be saying that, I'll be saying that, take this, assert text ID at this, meaning that make sure that there is some text at this ID, right? So when I click on that, let me click on that, and then you will see something getting added here. So let me see how I'm going to do that. Right click on that and assert text. So when I click on that, right, over here, things, see here, assert text got added. Assert text meaning that at this location, ID CTL 100, this, make sure that it will show QA online trainer. Now, basically what is going to happen is, if I do something more, those steps will be coming here. So when you are testing it, if it is not showing welcome QA online trainer, the rest of the steps would not continue. So you must try to refrain from using the assert text. Always it is better to use the verified text. But this is fine. So as of now, I am concluding my test for now, right? So what I'm going to do is the next step after this is going to be sign out. So I'm still in the recording mode. So I'm still in the recording mode. See, it is over here. Now watch what happens. This is highlighted. This is the last step. This is highlighted, and I am here, and I am about to sign out of it. When I click on sign out, okay, I am out of it. Let me go back into my test and see. When you go into the test, and if you see, right, the sign out part was clicking on that button, correct? But that went up here. That should have come down here, but that one went up here. So this is the mistake a newbie or a novice or a newcomer will always make. Now, whenever you are recording, if you have something highlighted, some line highlighted, and you'll have this how can we say it? You have this assumption that whenever you have something highlighted, and if you are recording, then it is going to come in the next line. But unfortunately, it doesn't go in the next line. It goes kind of like above. So now we have a problem if we run this script this way. How do we have a problem? First of all, we are saying that, hey, go to buckaroo.com, open the website. Then after that, type what? If you see here, type QA online trainer. Where? In this place. So now you might have a question, how does it know what this place is? I will make you understand that, but for now, just bear with me. So we go to the website, we open the website, we type basically QA online trainer, right? And then we click on the password, and then in the address we type that. Then after that we click on the subscribe button. When we click on the subscribe button, right, this is actually that, clicking on the subscribe button. When you click on the subscribe button, it will take you to the next page, and in the next page I wanted to assert that this is that. But before that, you see this, because at the time of recording we had that we made that mistake. So what we will do is we will keep it exactly like this, and we try to run it. So before I run, I have to stop the testing. So here I come. Because it's still in recording mode, I have to stop the recording. Once I stop the recording, we have the following. Can we say assertion as a showstopper? Assertion is nothing but it's a way to validate something. It's a way to validate and enforce it. Meaning that we got to make sure that if the assertion fails, you cannot continue with the test any further, right? You cannot continue with the test any further. That's the meaning of assertion, and it will become much more clear once I start to execute this script and run the script. So what you have to understand now is how these things they got generated. So they got generated because of the actions which we performed on the browser. So I went in there and I went to this website and I opened that, and then I typed this QA trainer, this. I did all that. Now if I have to run it, before we run, I want to draw your attention to the fact that we have this section. We have this section here, right? And we have on the right side, I have two sections. I have one section here up to here, and then I have this section in the bottom. Now the section in the bottom, right, gets displayed in context to where I click up here. So wherever I click, it is going to show me that information. So let me just erase everything and then show it to you. I want you to Pay attention here. So right now it is saying password, it is saying type, and it is saying this. So let us understand what this is. Now I am, let's say on this line. What do you mean by this line? What is the command which it is performing? It is the command, right under command is type. So if you see here, the command is to type. Type what? The what portion comes in the value. So in the value, I am typing QA Online Trainer. So now let's say if I want to change it, I don't want to call it QA Online Trainer, or I don't want to, run another script with QA Online Trainer. I can come in here and then change it to whatever, right? Let's say that, right? My name at gmail.com. That is not even my email address. Whoever, because by the time I could go and then create that email address, that was already taken. Somebody who was much faster than me, I guess, on Gmail. I have a different email address. I don't even want to use that personal email address here. So that's why I use that QA Online Trainer. Right? So, but we already have an account with QA Online Trainer because we already created that at the time of recording. We created that. So if I run it now, this test anyhow will fail. But what I am going to do is, at least I can see how it gets executed. So how do you, we have recorded it, how do you run it? How do you run it? In order to run, first of all, we have to configure so that we can understand how it is going to run. So the way we can configure here is, look into this part. Look into this part. This is how we will run it. But you have two buttons. You have this button and then you have this button. The difference here is you see 1, 2, 3, 4 greens, and here you have only one. That means that this is an individual test case. So let's say we have more test cases here, many test cases here. I did not even save this test case, but let's say there are many test cases here. Then if you want to run all of those test cases, then the button which you should use in order to run all those test cases is this one, right? Because if you see here, play entire test suite. So I don't have a test suite here. I just have one test, one little test, and I did not even save it. So let me go and save this. So file, save test case as, and let me go and then save it. And the area where I like to save it is, if you see here, there's a C Selenium folder, and in that I created a folder called IDE test cases. So if I take you from here in Windows Explorer, this is my C drive. This is my C drive. What I usually try to do is, I have different trainings going on, right? So we have a LoadRunner training, we have a Jmeter training, we have a Jenkins training, Jira training. So likewise, the Selenium. So here is the Selenium folder. Inside Selenium, what I have done is I have created few folders in here. There's a folder called All Jars, right? And later on, I'll show you what why I created that folder, what I need to put in there and all that. For now, there is another folder which I have created called IDE test cases. So I want to save my test case in here. As I do different, these courses are taught every month. So January, February, March, May, April. So I have all these test cases here. We did it for different companies, Screencast, and we did it for Login, GoToMeeting, and then we did it for, Travelocity and blah, blah, blah. So right now, I am about to save this test case. I'm about to save this test case. So let me give it a name. So what do you think? This is a test case PC, and this is a June 2013. And this is a test case for Buckaroo. And Buckaroo what? Sign up. So that's the test case. So let me save that test case. So if you see here, now I gave it a name. It's a test case, June 2013, Buckaroo sign up. In real life, you might want to call it PC, whatever some number, and whatever is the functionality of that. Right? So here is the test case. Now, the next thing is I saved it. If I want to run it, now I don't want to use this button because it will do everything. So I can use this button. But before I do that, take a look into this thing in here. This is the way I can control the test to be executed in a fast mode or a slow mode, right? That slow is not necessarily slow motion. but something which we can see. So I want to drag it all the way on the right side so that when I run the test, I really want to see what it is going to do in the browser, how it is going to do everything. So I will, just so that we can understand what is happening, I don't even want to be on this website. So I want to be on a totally different website. So let's say I am here, so that's where I am going to be. That's my SharePoint website. So let's see if it connects quickly. That is fine. If it doesn't connect quickly, then I'm going to go on to Yahoo or Google or wherever. So, okay, it is taking time to connect, so I'm going to go to Yahoo. So, at least we can see some beautiful girls here. Okay, so now we will go ahead and we will run this and see what happens. So while it is running, two things will happen. You can see in the background that it is running, right? And you can also see here different colors here, right? So you know that if you see a red color, that means that it's a trouble. And if you see green color, that means that it's a pass. Now intentionally, there is going to be, because we made a mistake here, right? So there is going to be some red here, right? But let us see what happens. So you don't even have to, while running, that you want to bring your cursor here. The cursor can be anywhere, here, there, wherever it is. Once we say this, it is going to get started. So keep an eye. Let's see what happens. There you go. It brought there, right? And right here it failed. Right here it failed. Now, I don't know if you all have paid attention to the fact that if you see here, it did the first line, which it brought us to this Buckaroo. So we are in Buckaroo. It opened this page, right? After that, it is saying type QA Online Trainer. Now the question is, where can it type QA Online Trainer? So that step of clicking on this and going here, for some reason that was not recorded, right? Now you might question, you might say, how come it was not recorded, right? What happened? It is good that it was not recorded. The reason for that is you can troubleshoot right now. You can see that, oh, why it is failing. Because if you understand these things, then you know that, okay, it is failing because of the fact that once you come to this page, if we are giving it instruction to type QA Online Trainer, there is no QA Online Trainer. So we had to do this. Now there are two ways we can put that command. How can I put? Either we can record, or I can go in here and I can even type that command in here. I don't want to do that right now because we are still in the learning stage, right? So we will go ahead and do that. So Adil says that it seems like it is on the 6th step. So let's see. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he says that this is where it is. So somehow it got moved in here. It is there. So you can drag and drop. So he was probably paying attention to all this, and we did not, right? So now the question is, how can we bring it up, right? So this is how you will bring it up, right? Now it is up here. Now that we moved it up here, right? So now if you understand, this is coming to this page. This is clicking on that button. Now it should go and type QA Online Trainer. Now it should go and type password. It should go and do that. And now it should go and click on that button. And after it click on that button, now this will happen. As soon as we click on that button, this is for that sign out. So we will sign out, and then it will look for welcome to QA. So it has to fail here. So either we fix it by taking it down or bringing it down here, or we just leave it and see what will happen. So we're just going to leave it and see what will happen. Okay, so again, this time I'm going to go to Google, right? Not that I have to go to Google, but I'm just trying to make you understand that wherever we are, as long as, now again, it is highlighted here. Doesn't matter. So there we go. Okay, so it went there. Now it clicked on the subscribe. Now, if you notice, it failed here. It failed right here. Now, you might be wondering, you are like, what happened here? Why did it fail? The reason it failed the reason it failed. I mean, rather than asking you why it failed, because you guys are still new, right? So I'm not gonna put you on the spot and ask you a question why it failed, because we are still learning. But down the road, I'm gonna be asking you, why do you think it failed? In this case, the reason it failed is because now when it came from the previous page, when we clicked here, right? When we clicked here and we came here, now the script, before the page could come here, the Selenium IDE went in and started executing this line. So the page was not even loaded. The page was not even loaded, and it was trying to type something as the QA online. So this email address ID, this was not painted. It was not. So we have to wait here. We have to wait here. Click, and between click and type, we have to wait. Now, either I can go and insert, right click and insert a new command and say wait there, or I can edit this command. Because what happens is there is a command to click, and then if you see here, click, right? There is a command click, and as you can see, as I type, it gives me whatever the possible commands are. So there is something called click and wait. So I can take that click and wait. So if I have a click and wait, now it will instruct Selenium, this command will instruct Selenium that, hey, I cannot do this. I cannot type unless the page is loading. So that's what we got to do, click and wait. So I made a change to it. Let me just quickly go, and then I don't have to do a save as all the time, because save the test is fine. All right. Okay. So let's go ahead and run this again. This time I am on the second page. So that's fine. It will force it to go to the first page. Okay, now did you see that? Did you see where it failed? Where it failed? You guys all saw where it failed. Now the question is, how are we going to fix this problem? So I need one of you guys, because I already explained you. So I need one of you guys to tell me, either I can unmute you. You can quickly tell me in like less than 2 seconds what I should be doing. Or you can type it. So I need to fix it. I need to fix this. So what should I be doing? Right? So now another thing which you might have noticed is this green color or whatever color that is, light green color. This happens after successful execution of that line. While it is executing it, it is like a beige color or cream color, right? So if I go back and then run it again, notice that it's a beige color, right? Because it is doing that. Now after it successfully did it, it's like, and there is no red color yet because the test is not failed. Now the test, here is the test failed because I'm looking for this. So how am I going to fix this? What should I be doing? What do you think I should be doing? Anybody? Okay, so basically what we will be doing in here is this assertion. If you log out, there is this is going to log me out. After I log out, how can I assert? So this is going here, right? This is assertion is going here, right? Assertion is going here, and then I am going to log out. So if I run now, it should be fine. So before I do that, I will do a Control S to save it, and then I will run it. Now before I run, let me just go to this site, right? So that I know that I'm at a different place now. And I click on that. Let me see if it brings me back. Okay, it is back in here. Clicks on the subscribe, clicks on QA trainer, right? A password, New York, subscribe, and there you go. The test should be a pass. All green, the test is pass. Now, the script ran beautifully. Script ran beautifully. Now I have to ask all 15, 16 people are in here. Is there a bug in this test case or not? Do you see from your common sense, from your logic, and I'm not trying to put a gun to your head that you have to tell me if you want to participate and if you want to tell me, is there a bug here or there is no bug? Right? It is better if you participate and if you tell me that the script ran good, so there is no bug, or yes, there is a bug, right? So I have at least one person saying that there is no bug in it, right? Okay, 2 people, no bug. How about the rest of 15 more people? So you know, just say something, yes or no, right? I mean, Bill, you gave me the solution. You gave me the solution, but you did not tell me if there is a bug or not. You gave me the solution. So my question is there a bug in here or not? Right? So what do you think? You gave me the solution, and that's exactly what it is, right? Which I'm going to read it out loud for everybody to hear what you just said. Now Adil has changed his opinion, and he says that I think there is a bug. So before he said there is no bug, so now he changed it and there is a bug. So the rest of you guys, most of you are saying there is no bug, right? Okay, here it is. If I am testing this application, even though everything worked fine, but I am going to report back that there is a bug in the application, right? There is a bug in the functionality. Now you would say, what the heck? Where is the bug? Everything is working fine. Now, do you agree with Bill when Bill says that, is it not true that most sites give you an error if you subscribed a second time? If you subscribe a second time. Because now I have already created this account. Welcome QA, this QA online trainer. We are creating a new account. I've already created it, but it keeps letting me create again and again. Keeps letting me create again and again. So now that is a serious bug. That is a serious bug. So how do you allow to create? So, I mean, the developer is not going and then doing the checking, right? That if the account is already created. So let me take you to this site. Let me take you to this site, right? Okay. Now, for time being, I'm just gonna close this. Here, get a free account, same email address, password, some more things in here. Verify password, display, country, this, and sign up. So what we will do is, we will go and check if this one will work. Now, first of all, I want one of you guys to talk to me. I want you to talk to me and tell me how can I create the automated test in Selenium. Even recording. We are not doing the scripting yet. The recording. Help me create the automated recording which I could run to create a new free account. Now, you would say, this is what you should do, Irfan, right? So you might say, let me just go and pull here, right? You might say exactly this, right? Tell me if you're telling me anything else. Now, you would say, to test the screencast new functionality account, right? Screencast. Test steps are open Firefox, navigate to this one. So I will bring up Firefox, I will navigate in here, right? Next thing is I am going to enter email QA online trainer 1 or whatever, right, into email box. Password into the password. another password into that password, and then there is something called a display name. So the display name is QA there, and the country I will select as United Kingdom. Now you might say that why are you, this is USA, why? The reason for that is by default they already have USA. So whether I select it or not, it won't show. But if I go and select a different one, then it might show. So that is why I chose United Kingdom, because all of us, we know United Kingdom. I mean, what do you know if I select some other country from here? I mean, Aruba, probably most of you guys know, because of that guy who killed that beautiful girl in Aruba, right, a few years back. But the other countries, you might not. Monaco, when I was growing up, there was a biscuit or like a cookie in India called Monaco. So I don't know where this country is. Anybody knows how many countries are there in the world? Just a number, rough number, right? Trust me, it has nothing to do with Selenium. They're not going to ask you this question in the in the interview, like how many countries. Somebody said 140. Now come on. I mean, 140, come on. We can do better than that. And now I know the rest of you guys probably are like going and Googling right now. How many countries in the world? Google, help me. He asked me a question. Yeah. I think, Bill, you are right. I think there are about 200 and change. There you go. Sudha already, either Sudha's husband is sitting next to her and saying, tell him 234, because that's, I used to work. Somebody I know used to work in UN, so they said they were 200. Sudha says, no, it's not my husband. I am equally smart, so it is 230. So somewhere around that, 234. So anyways, I don't know why we got into that topic, but so these are like, so anybody knows all those 200? Nobody would know, right? I mean, very few people. Maybe those, for the past 5 or 6 years, continuously, or 7 years, continuously, in those spelling bees, Indians, they come on the top. Past 6-7 years. I mean, when they come, that is the one of the proudest moments for me when I see, because I kind of like come from that country as well. So I really feel proud that, wow, I could hardly pronounce anything, and look at these smart kids. I mean, they can spell that word, and gosh, I mean, I don't know where they got that. And most of them are from southern India, from South India. So people from South India are very smart people. Now, that doesn't make the rest of the world not smart. I mean, they're very, very smart as well. Just an example, just something I'm babbling here. Anyway, let's come back and do some Selenium here. So over here, if you see, we can quickly create a test case. Now, let me just ask you this question, guys. If you have to go and create a test case here, you would be able to do it, right? Now, I probably might take about like literally, you can time me. I can take about like 2 minutes. And I can tell you, right? I'm not trying to boast about myself. I can tell you, there are 14, 15, 16 people in here. Maybe all 16 of you might be able to do it in 2.5 to 3 minutes. If I take 2 minutes, you probably would take 3 minutes today. In a week from now, you might take like 1.5 minutes, right? Because some of you folks are much younger and much faster, so you might be able to do it much sooner. So it's not about like, fast or anything. The idea here is, did you understood the whole concept that can you reproduce it, right? Can you reproduce it? So this is a different side, but pretty much similar functionality compared to here. Here we were clicking on subscribe, and here we were entering everything here in 3 lines. Here we are basically going in here and then entering the information. So let me just create a quick test case here. So how am I going to create this test case? Simple. I will go Tools and I will go Selenium IDE, and here I am already in the test in the recording mode. So I just have to go and record, right? So if I have to go and record, now notice here it says Buckaroo. So our first step is equally important, where we say that open a browser and navigate to this, right? So this is important. Otherwise, it is going to take you from the previous test. Whatever is sitting from the previous test, it is going to take you there. So what I usually do is, whenever we are recording, I try, before I even come to the recording, before I open IDE, right, I try to be someplace else. Because we have to, according to my test case, I have to go there, right? So now I intentionally be somewhere else, right? And then I do this. I go Tools, I bring up my this thingy, right? And now I am in the recording mode, and now I am doing my thing. So what am I doing? I am going to, I'm not going to be typing, so I'll just do that screencast, right? So after I go to screencast, and then now I will go ahead and then I will perform certain actions in here. So what action I'm going to perform? Basically, I'm going to type something into this email, right? Now, notice here it did not change anything. It did not change anything. So if I do this and come back, right? And if I go in here, still it did not change anything. Let me just keep it like that, and then let me just do this. Over here in the email, let me go ahead and type QA online trainer at gmail.com. All right, go to the next line, password, uppercase PASSWORD, go in here, type password, and go here and call it QA online trainer, right? Okay, and United States, I will take Azerbaijan, right? This is one of the Soviet Union, USSR split country. So subscribe to that. So click on that, and I will go and then click on the sign up. Here we go, right? So thank you for creating. That means that I did not have an account with that. So it created for the first time, which is good. QA online trainer. So I will take this. Thank you for creating a screencast account. Right click on that and say show all commands. And I can even take from here the assertion. Either I can take the assert text present or assert text at this. Assert text, thank you for that, I will take that. Okay, now what I will do is, we don't have a sign out or anything in here, so I will just go back and stop the test. So here we go, and I am going to stop the test. So here is my now recording, stop the test. Okay, everything good. It changed that to screencast, right? It will open the page, and then it will do email, a QA online trainer. There's a password, retype password, display name is there, country is Azerbaijan. Click on the checkbox and click on the button, and then wait for the page to show up, and then here it will say thank you for that. Now if I run it, right, let me just save this. Save test case as. And this is the test case underscore June 2000. So I'm going to take that, and here I will say, rather than saying Buckaroo, I will say screencast, right? Okay, beautiful. We save it. So that's the screencast, and let me just run it one more time. Right, I will slow it down, right? I will intentionally go someplace else. I will go to Google, and I will run this. Okay, so here we go. Now you will see what happens in here. Let me just move this a little bit. See, it is Azerbaijan, and click on sign up, right? Okay, here is a problem. So it found some problem with it, and then it said there is an unexpected error or whatever. So let us see what happened to this one. So if you see, because it failed because of the assertion. If I did not had the assertion, let's say, if I did not had the assertion, because it failed because of the assertion, because it was looking for thank you for creating that, this will never happen. This will never happen, right? Because of the functionality, this will never happen. If I run it one more time, right? And if we just move it a little bit here, right, to see what it is doing. See, click on Azerbaijan, click on sign up, and then, so it said that there is something wrong. So my test script would be, test script is, because of the assertion, it is failing, right? But everything else did work. So now, for whatever reason, let's say if I right click and delete the assertion line, I deleted the assertion line. Let me do a save on that, and let me run it. And let me just move it aside so that we can see what is happening as you go. So here it might pass here, but the functionality wise it is failing, which is the right thing, but the test has, see here, the test has passed. So what does that tell us? Now I know how to record any script. This is a simple script, right? I can record any script. So now if we go to an kind of like an in-depth recording of a script, now will that be a problem? Would you be able to record any in-depth script? The answer is absolutely, right? So before the end of the day today, I'm going to give you some assignments. I'm not ready for the assignment yet, right? But I'll give you some of the assignments at the end of the day. What I want to do now is, I want, and this time I really mean it, I want one of you, and before I even call your name, I would appreciate if somebody volunteers yourself and says that, okay, I want to do it. What I want to do here is, I want one of you to tell me how I can create a test case to sign in. So walk me through, talk to me, walk me through the sign-in part of it, right? So we have to create a automated test script for sign-in, right? Let's do it for Buckaroo. So who is going to help me with that? And I need one person who can talk to me, who has a microphone and who tells me to do it. Okay, we have a volunteer here. He is going to help us out. Adil, I will unmute you. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right, so you introduce yourself. Just tell us your name. So I will unmute you now. Hello, can you hear us? Of course, you should be hearing.
Hey, everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, the pronunciation is correct. Adil.
Okay.
Anything works. Yeah.
All right. What I'm going to do, Adil, is because there will be a feedback, so I will mute myself and I will let you not only do the talking, but I want you to run the show, meaning I will give you the control of my machine to you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make you the presenter, and that way you can basically go and run this. So 1 second. Let me see if I can give you the control of my machine. 1 second. Okay, so here we go. Okay, I have given you the access to this machine. Can you move the mouse?
I think I can. No, I actually can't.
Okay, hang on. Try now.
Nope.
Oops.
No, it's gonna. I don't know.
Sorry. So what is happening is
if you want, I can tell you what steps I would take, and you can.
Let's see. let's see if it allows you to take the control. Try now. If not, then you give me the steps. No?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
All right. So give me the steps. Tell me what am I supposed to do to make it happen.
Well, the first thing I would do is start a new browser session.
Okay.
Right.
So I'm going to go somewhere here. And let me close this. And, okay, let us go and create a new Selenium IDE. Okay. So this is in the recording mode. Right. So
I'm not seeing your screen at all. I'm not sure if everyone else is or not, but yeah, now I am.
Okay. So my browser is pointing at google.com, and I went in here to tools, and I opened my Selenium IDE. And the test case is I should be able to sign in to Buckaroo.
Okay. So now I would go to my browser and type in buckaroo.com. We should check if it's recording or not. I mean, it should give us the first step, right?
Right. It will give you now once
yeah.
once you do something now. It will give you now.
Right. So now I would go to sign in. Click on sign in.
So it is recording.
Yep.
So let me just do that. Okay.
And then I would type in a valid email address, so QA Online 1, I guess it was.
QA Online Trainer at Gmail. Okay.
I would put in password.
Password. Okay. And click on the sign in, right?
Yep.
Okay. Here we go. So here is the QA Online. So I can even do an assertion on that.
Yep.
So I can just go in here, right click on that, and assert at this text ID, or assert text ID at this one. So I can assert for that. Okay. So after that, I will sign out. Right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And let us run and see if this is going to work or not. So I'm going to keep you on here till we go and then run it. So here is the thingy. So as you all can see, this is going to open. This is click and wait on that button, sign in button. And then we type this QA Online. We type the password. We clicked and wait. We asserted for that text, and then we logged out of that. All right. Okay. So before I run, I will just go and then save this test case as, save test case as. And again, I'm going to make it as TC underscore. This is June 2013. And this is Buckaroo sign in. Right? Okay. Beautiful. Now I will do that. Right? And to see that it does all this, I will just move it on the side. Move it on the side. And let me run this script and then see if whatever Adil has guided us to do, if it is working or not. There it is. There it is. Clicking on that, and hopefully the test is over, because we logged out and we are back. So let us go and take a look. And lo and behold, everything is working. And thank you again so much. I will put you back. Mute.
I think you've muted yourself.
Okay, can you see the screen now? Can you see the screen now? Okay, beautiful. Okay, good. So what we did over here is we have created another script, right? Okay, so IDE is all about record and run. So I have taken two very simple test cases, very small simple test cases. Now this is where our real test is going to be. What I am going to do now is I'm going to take you to a website, right? And we will have multiple builds of that website. And I want you to kind of like start creating some test cases for this website. All right. And the way you're going to be creating the test case of this website is if you understand the flow of a website. Now we will go to Travelocity.com. Okay. So let's say we have been hired by Travelocity.com, and they are creating the state-of-the-art beautiful website, and then they want you to test if this website is working or not. Okay. All right. So what is the test case here? The Travelocity as a company, they do business by selling vacation packages, by selling flights, by selling hotels, cars or rails or cruises and yada yada yada. Okay. All right. So we have to do one thing at a time. So right now let us go and work on the flights, right? So I want to do a test case for the flights. If I want to do the test case for the flights, now what I am interested in is in the beginning one location, right? Meaning that it doesn't matter where you live, right? I mean, I'm going to do this test case for my own airport. So I am, let's say, let me just close this. Let me close this. I am going on vacation, right? I'm going on vacation. So after I finish your course, that is why I kind of like around 4th of July, I would be done and then I would be running. So basically, we would be leaving from JFK, right? JFK is the airport. We are leaving from JFK as an airport. And I am flying to Munich, right? MUC as in Munich. All right. So now this is from airport. This is to airport, right? Okay, good. We will keep the test case simple in the first run. I'm going to keep it simple. I don't want to go into compare surrounding airports and all that. I don't want to do that. For now, I'm going to keep it simple. But I promise you, in our next few runs, after we get the concept, we're going to start, getting into some complex scenarios. Okay. So first test case is simple. Okay. Now that I have put in my airport codes, now you don't have to do it from JFK to Munich. You could be, if you're living in Chicago, do from Chicago to, if you're going to your, in-laws place and they live in California, do from Chicago to LA, right? Or from wherever to wherever. I don't want to dictate that. Okay, so let us go with the exact dates, and this is going to be, look into the format of this, right? Look into always you have to think in this way. Try to make your life easier. The way you can make your life easier here is, the functionality can be, this can be a calendar. When you come and click on that, this is a calendar. And now you want to check for certain dates. So you could go and then you could go and then you could click on this 28, right? But what I want you to do is look into the format. The format is MMDDYY, right? So just put in some dates. So 12, let's say 22, let's say 2013, right? And then you come in here and the time you can choose some 6 p.m. or whatever. And over here, 12, 29, 2013, and coming back, let's say, is after anything, doesn't matter, right? And I cannot go on my honeymoon alone, so I have to take. So let's say you can't even take 3 people on your honeymoon. It doesn't matter, anything, right? Doesn't matter, really. So some number in here, and now you click on this search. So the idea here is it giving me, what do you expect? What do you expect? You expect that you should see some number. So right there, we see some number, 964. So the 964 total per person is 964 is what it is giving us, right? So we have to capture this. We have to capture this. So not just assert, we have to store this, because we have to, later on, we have to go and check, that all this information was right or not. It shouldn't be giving you 964. Maybe it should be like 264. Who knows, right? So we have to store this information. So how are we going to do it? It is pretty simple, right? You understand that it is very simple. And as I was telling you, that it should not be taking anything more than like a few minutes for us to do it, right? So will there be any problem if I tell you that you should do it as an assignment? The answer is there should not be a problem, because you know how to do it. So with that, the next thing is hotels, no problem, right? Next thing is cruises, no problem. So anything will be no problem as far as recording is concerned. So if I am making a statement, if I'm saying that everybody here, 15 people who are in this session, they are all fine creating, recording a test script using Selenium IDE. Will that be a fair statement at this time if I say that? You might say that yes and no. There will be mixed response. Some of you will say that yes, it is easy, we have to try, or some of you would say that we got to try, I don't know, whatever the reason. So I would leave that up to you for you guys to try it out, the recording part. What I am going to do now is I am going to show you the other part of it, which is the scripting part. So let us say you already have the recording. I can go in here and I can pull Selenium IDE, and we have been saving those scripts, right? So here I go, File, Open, right? And go wherever you have saved the script. So I know I saved the script is June, right here, right? So I have the Buckaroo, sign in, and I have a screencast, sign in, right? And I have a Buckaroo, sign up. And I could just go and record, and I have any one of those, doesn't matter, right? So this was a little bit the screencast, the Buckaroo sign up I will take first. So I'm going to go and take this Buckaroo sign up, right? Okay, here it is, right? Now there are no questions as far as this is concerned. What I will do now is I will take this script and I will convert this script into code, What code? It could be Java code, it could be C# .NET code, it could be Python code, Perl code, any code, right, which we want, we could convert it. Now, in the first class, I did talk about that 90% of the apps out there, testing out there is being used in Java. So you use Java. But, if you feel comfortable with C#, you'd go ahead and use C#, right? Now, the difference is this course is basically going to be for Java. I will teach you everything for Java. Now, as myself, I am a Microsoft guy, so I would love to do it in a C#. But then this course is all about Java, so I will be doing it Java. But I will give you one or two videos where you can see as how this is done in C#. For C#, you have to use a different tool. That tool is a Visual Studio. So for Java, we will be using a tool called Eclipse, right? Okay, before we go and run and try and get Eclipse, first of all, we will see how to even get the code. So once you have a script, which is a working script, not just you will just get any recording, you got to make sure that this is working. So here it is, right? I clicked on that, and then boom, 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 and then you see everything is working. Now, notice that we have an error here, right? We have an error again because of the fact that I am running in the fast test mode, and it is doing very fast. And then we clicked here, not click and wait. We clicked here. So the next thing is it is looking for it because it's a very fast mode. You would say that, hey, how come before it worked, now why it did not? Because we are in the fast mode now. If I bring it in the slow mode, then it will do ding, 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 right? So that way it will give like a breathing room for the browser to show up, right? Or if you want to be in the fast mode, no problem, come in here and say click and wait, right? And then you could be in the fast mode, doesn't matter. Right? Okay, so that is our script working in the background. See, as you can see, it is working. Let me move it. right? Something happened here. We have to take a working script before we could do anything. So subscribe button on that. So let me just go any place, go do that, and just make it a little smaller so that we can see behind the scenes what is happening, and do that. Why it is failing? Because we are not signed out. I have to be signed out from here, right? Okay, so now I will run it. Here we go. It is going to do, as you can see, it is doing that. So it's a bad application because it will take as many number of times you can create with the same account. So there's a bug in it, right? Anyways, but the script is functional. Okay, so now the question is, when the script is functional, how do you produce the code of it? Now I want you to watch it, pay a little bit attention here if you can, please, right? So you go to options, and you are supposed to go to format and then see a lot of stuff in here. If you don't see a lot of stuff in here, that means that your tool, Selenium IDE, is not configured to show you the code. So we have to do the configuration of it. How do we do the configuration? It's just like clicking on this options, and in this box, see here, enable experimental features. Just click on that. Just click on that experimental features and hit OK. And once you do that, now options, format, and there you go, right? So you have the rest of the stuff. So you can go and which one you want. C#, you can click on that, and you will see all this is C# code. This is all C# code, right? As you can see, it is all C# code, right? Simple code, C# code. Now you don't want C#. Basically what we want is, we don't even want the WebDriver. The next thing we want to do is the remote control, RC server. So I want to take Java JUnit for RC server. It says I'm about to convert. Are you sure? Yes. So this code is for the RC server. So now, without even doing anything, I have the whole code, and I can run this whole code, and I can do parameterization of this code. Now the question is, what do you mean by parameterization? I keep hearing that term, parameterization. What do you mean by that? Now let's say if I have to test this script for thousands of different emails, right? Thousands of different emails. That means that email here, or this New York, it need not be New York 10018 all the time. It will be something different. So I have to pass that this information all the time from an external source. So I could also go and get connected to the external source, right? And the question here is, why did we choose RC server and not WebDriver? The reason I chose RC server is there are three components of Selenium. Selenium IDE, Selenium RC server, Selenium WebDriver. Now today Selenium IDE is going to be over. The chances of me coming back into Selenium IDE are almost zero. Very rarely I would ever come back, because whatever you need to know about IDE, we pretty much covered that. The rest of the stuff is not so important. I mean, because what are the chances that you would be using IDE? You won't be using IDE. But you have to know IDE. That's why I covered IDE. Now, RC server. There is a very good possibility that you might find an opening probably 10 minutes from where you live, right? And this company is a Fortune 50 company, biggest company of the world. And unfortunately for them, they had a Selenium guy who was working with them for the past 2 years, and then he left the country. So they have no choice but to get another guy. But unfortunately, the scripts he was writing, or the scripts he created, all of those scripts are in RC server. Now you have no knowledge of RC server. You are a WebDriver expert. Now chances are you will not get the job, because the requirement for the job is RC server. So you have to know enough of RC server that you could go in that interview and you could say that, hey, you know what? I can get that. I can do it. So I am not going to spend 4 days doing RC server. One more day, do an RC server. Today, we have probably 20 more minutes, so I will introduce you to RC server. And then one more class of RC server. Then all the rest of the classes will be WebDriver. WebDriver with JUnit, WebDriver with TestNG framework, WebDriver with Ant, with Maven, with SVN, with Jenkins. So we will be doing quite a bit of stuff as we progress in this course. So that should answer why I am opting for RC server, even though RC server is kind of like deprecated, but sometimes you need to know. So we will not be spending our whole life in it. Our whole life is 8 sessions, so I won't be doing that. I would probably be spending like one more sessions on RC server, and then that's the end of it. Okay, so now we have the code. We have the code. Beautiful, the code. Without even writing one line here, we have the code. Now, but where would you take this code? If I take this code, where can I put this code? Can I put in Notepad and run this code? There is nothing like a run. So I have to put it in some tool. So what is that tool which you can use? The industry right now uses a tool called Eclipse. So we got to go and get that Eclipse. Now, the question is, where the heck is Eclipse? Do we have to pay for it? Do we have to? No, this is an open source, so everything is going to be free. So download Eclipse is what you would Google. Once you Google, you come here to download Eclipse, you click on that, and here is the Eclipse site. And please, kind of like pay attention for 2 seconds in here so that you don't ask that question, because this is the most popular question I keep getting like in almost every batch. Which version of Eclipse should I download? I mean, that is why, because you have Eclipse, many Eclipse. What I would suggest is you can download any version from here, but go and download. It is all free, right? It's all free. So go and download this version. Eclipse IDE for Java Enterprise Edition developers. You say, I'm not a developer. Yeah, you're not a developer, but just go and then download this. The reason for that is down the road, you might be doing something more than just Selenium. So get the best tool when it is available to you for free. The big thing which you have to understand here is whether you should download 32-bit or 64-bit. Now, depending on your operating system, some of you guys might be using Vista. I have no clue why would somebody use Vista, but you are. I mean, some people are using Vista. So how do you find out whether it's a 32-bit or a 64-bit? Go from start to control panel. When you go to control panel, you look for system here. You look for system. Here is the system. When you click on that, this will tell you, this area will tell you what is the operating system you have, right? Operating system is 64-bit. 64-bit operating system. So in your case, probably it is a 32-bit. If it is a 32-bit, then you have to download the 32-bit. If it is a 64-bit, then you have to download the 64-bit. So here you download whatever. So I'm going to click on 64-bit, right? And these are like different, mirror sites. Depending on where you are, it might give you the closest site. So I am here in New York. Indiana is not necessarily the closest, but for whatever reason, from the internet perspective, it is suggesting me that I should download from here. So I will click on that and try to download. So they started a new thing, like they wanted you to give them your email address and all that. I'm not saying anything that you should be doing it or not doing it. I won't do it. So I would just go and then download. So if you see, this is 229. So I'm going to download that. Once the download finishes, you can basically unzip it. So I'm going to take you to the folder where I have downloaded earlier. So here is Selenium. Okay, over here in the Selenium download, I have download Eclipse. This is in the month of December 2011. I have downloaded. Again, I downloaded this in 2013 5 last month. I have downloaded, right? And now it is, as you can see, it is getting downloaded. As you can see here, it is getting downloaded now, right? So once it gets downloaded, we'll have that, right? So wherever it is, see here, it is getting downloaded, show out download. So we can get that. So wherever it is. So basically, once you have it, you just double click it. It's a zip file. Once you double click it, it can go and it can extract it. So I have extracted it here, right? I have extracted it here. So if you take a look, this is Selenium download and Eclipse. And here, look at this purple or blue color thingy. This is my Eclipse. Now, there is nothing like an Eclipse installation. There is nothing like an Eclipse installation because it's an open source. It doesn't write to the registries. Unlike QTP, unlike Rationale, all of those, they will write to to the registries. Here, it doesn't write to the registry. So this is what got downloaded, and I can extract it. I can extract it. See here, it will say extract. Where do you want to extract? You can choose the destination where you want it to be extracted, and then it can extract. I'm not going to extract that, but it will extract at that location. Once it extracts at that location, what I want you to do is right-click on it and create a shortcut. Create a shortcut. And once you create a shortcut, this is the shortcut. Drag that shortcut to your desktop. So this is my desktop. I can drag that shortcut to close these browsers, right? I can drag it here, right, to my desktop. Since I already have one, right, I can either overwrite it, right? I can move and replace that. So I don't do that. So it is over here. See here, this is the Eclipse shortcut. Eclipse shortcut. So now it is pointing to, right click on that and go into the properties. Notice that it is pointing to that Selenium, C drive, Selenium download, Eclipse folder, and then Eclipse.executable. So that's where it is pointing to. So now assignment number 1 for day 2. Assignment number 1 for day 2 is to download Eclipse, right? Okay, now assignment is day 2 assignment, right? There are going to be multiple things. Download Eclipse, right? Download. I don't want to use the word install, but I don't know what's the other word for it. So download and install Eclipse, all right? Okay. Second assignment is create automated test using Selenium IDE for Travelocity flight quote, right? Now, right in there, when you do that, produce the JUnit for RC server code and bring it into Eclipse. Number 3, right? The whole thing is like one assignment. It's not like 3 assignments. The whole thing is one assignment. Step number 3 is run and report the error by taking a screenshot and sending it to assignments@trainingrite.com. So you will be sending your assignments from hereafter to this email address, assignments@trainingrite.com. So that's the email address you would be sending it to. All right. So now what I want you to do is, of course, download and install Eclipse. I want you to go and then create an automated for Travelocity and then copy that code, right? and bring it into Eclipse, which I will show it to you how to do that. And then when you run it, there will be an error. There will be a guaranteed error. And I want you to show that error, take the screenshot, and send that screenshot, right, to me as a part of the assignment. Right? Okay. Now, once you download Eclipse, now in order to run the Eclipse, right, when I double click on the Eclipse, you will sometimes get an error, because Eclipse is based on your machine having Java on it. So you must have Java installed on your machine. So if you get an error, that means that Java is not installed on your machine, so you have to go and then download Java. So the way you're going to be downloading Java is, you would go and say download Java. But how can you check if Java is there on your machine or not? So do this, type CMD, right? When this thing comes up, let me erase this. Yeah, when this thing comes up, right, your DOS prompt, do a Java space hyphen version, right? Or rather, version is spelled out SION. So if you see Java space minus version, and it tells me that I have on my machine, I have JRE 1.7. Java runtime environment 1.7 I have on my machine. Now it's a 64-bit I have. Now when you do this, if you say command not understood or something like that, that means that you don't have Java on your machine. So what do you do if you don't have Java on your machine? You will go and you would say download Java. Java is Sun Microsystems, but it is bought out by Oracle. So don't be surprised if it takes you to the Oracle site. So download free Java software. When you do that, it takes you here, free Java download. So when you do that, it is going to download, agree and start free Java. So it is going to download Java for you, and then it will install Java for you, installation instructions and all that. It will install Java for you. And once everything is done, please come back here and do CMD and do Java minus version, and then it should show you something. Once it shows you, then you are ready to run Eclipse. So if you double click on Eclipse, Eclipse will open up and give you this. Do not ignore this. Do not ignore, because it is important what you're seeing here. What you're seeing here is, it is asking you, hey, where is your workspace? And the question is, what is a workspace? The answer to that is, workspace is technically that area or on your hard drive where you want to save all your projects that are created as a part of Eclipse. So whenever you use Eclipse to create your test projects or your development projects or any projects, they must be saved inside a workspace. So it is telling you, where is that workspace? So you go and create a workspace. It doesn't matter where you create it. I created my workspace on C drive. So if I take you to C drive, and if I show you on my C drive, you will find that I have over here this workspaces folder, right? And if I show you, these are the different projects which we have been working on for so many years. So because we have these batches going on, February, March, May, April, June, July, right? All of these batches. So these are the different projects which we have done in 2.5 years. We have done those projects, different projects. So that's where I'm saving everything. Okay. All right. So that's where it is pointing to. So you could browse and you could point to wherever you want to point to. You create a new folder or whatever it is, right? Okay. Once you hit OK after that, Eclipse, depending on what you are going to use Eclipse for, it might take like a minute or two to open. So if it is brand new, if you're not using Eclipse for anything else other than your Java Selenium projects, it will open up quickly. I am using Eclipse for so many other things. I'm using Eclipse for SoapUI, for Jmeter, for all that. So that's why it is going to load See here, everywhere SoapUI Eclipse. So it is loading all those plugins and all that. So it will take some time on my machine, but your machine, it should be pretty fast. Okay, now that this is open, so let me just close all of this, and show you right from the beginning. Another most popular question which people ask me usually after the first class of Eclipse, if I don't point out something, then this is basically, they will ask me, oh, when you are trying to do something in here, when you do file and when you do new, here it is showing you Java, but on my machine it is not showing you Java, right? Okay, let me take a step back and let me explain you what you should be doing in Eclipse. What do we use Eclipse for? Eclipse is a tool which can do different things for different users. Who are the users of Eclipse? Developers, Java developers, they use Eclipse. They build applications. They build web services. They build, whatever they are doing, developers. Automated testers, they will use Eclipse to build automated scripts. But there is a way you will use Eclipse. What is that way? Basically, whenever you're using Eclipse, you have to start off with what is called a project. So it is going to be a Java project which you will be creating. So there is a hierarchy which we have to follow. So number one, you have to create a Java project. And while creating the Java project, we have to basically name the project, and we have to add some external libraries, and we got to do a few things in there, right? So step number one is you have to create a Java project. Step number two is create a class inside that Java project. Inside the Java project, you have to create a inside the Java project. Inside Java project, you have to create a class. All right. Is Eclipse different than IDE? Does it to us? Okay. Question here is Eclipse different than IDE? Okay, IDE, right? The full form of IDE is Integrated Development Environment, right? So the word IDE, right, means different things for different people. So if you say IDE to a Microsoft guy, right, anybody who is working with Microsoft tools, IDE to them is something in Visual Studio, right, something in Visual Studio. If you say IDE to somebody in Selenium, right, so that IDE is the Selenium IDE tool, which is used for recording and producing code and all that, right? Eclipse is a tool by itself. Eclipse is a tool by itself. So Eclipse is different than this IDE. Eclipse has nothing to do with IDE. IDE is something different. Eclipse is something different. Okay. Now, RC server is something different. IDE is something different, and WebDriver is something different. So these are Selenium. These are Selenium components. Eclipse is totally different. Eclipse is a container. It is a tool that will take the code which is generated from IDE, and then it will run the scripts. It will run the scripts. So RC server is totally different. IDE is totally different, and Eclipse is totally different, right? These are different things, different animals, right? Okay, so coming back to when you are dealing with Eclipse, you have to go and create a Java project, and while creating a Java project you have to answer a few things, and then you will go and then create a class inside the Java project. And after you create the class, step number 3 is you will either paste the code in the Java class, either you paste or you have to create, you have to write your own code in there. So for today, we will be pasting the code. We will not be writing the code today. We'll be pasting the code today. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go make believe that you already have downloaded Eclipse. So we will start the Eclipse, right? So I have started the Eclipse. I'm here. So what did I said? We have to go and then create a Java project. So what happens here is, let's say, here we go. In order to create a Java project, you have to go and you have to do a file. You have to say new. Now notice you don't have Java project there. You just have project, example, other. Now what happened? Why don't you have Java? What happens is if you look into this this area, this is called perspective. This is called perspective, right? In what perspective you are right now, right? So we have to be here in Java perspective. Java perspective. Sometimes if it is not selected as Java, see open perspective, right? Open perspective. Sometimes it could be, for whatever reason, you could be in JavaScript perspective, or you could be in some other perspective. So now you will have a problem. You will have a problem when you say file new. You might not be able to see Java project. So you would be coming back and you say that I don't see a Java project there. I always see a JavaScript project there. I always see just a project there. I don't see a Java project there. Well, the reason you're not seeing a Java project is go and open the perspective, which is the right perspective. What is the right perspective? Right? The right perspective is you have to select Java and not anything else. Not anything else, right? Anything else, close it. Only Java. Once Java perspective is selected, now click on File, click on New, and now you will see Java project. Right? Okay, so I'm going to go into Java project, and here in the next class I'm going to spend a lot of time explaining this. Right now I will just do enough so that you can know as where to copy paste the code. So here is the project name. So we'll come up with the project name. In real life, you will give the project name as whatever is the project name and the build and the, whatever. So here, in my case, I will call it day 2, June 2013, right? And this is the Buckaroo sign up. Okay, now the rest of the stuff, if you see here, this is the Java which I have on my machine. What environment, what JRE I have, what Java runtime environment I have. I mean, on my machine, I've been doing it for quite some time, so I have 1.6, 1.5, 1.7, so I can pretty much take any one. But whatever it selects, that's fine. So if you don't see anything in here, that means you are in trouble. That means you don't have Java. It will start giving you some errors. All right. Install Java not showing in command prompt. Okay, what you do, close the command prompt, Adil, and open it again, and it will show. It will show. Close the command prompt and open it. When you are installing Java, and if the command prompt says that Java is not there, and then you went in and you installed Java, after you complete Java, and if you still give the command and it says that Java is not installed, that means that command prompt must be closed and opened back again. Okay, now let us come back in here and take care of this. So over here, you give the name of the project. Excuse me. And over here, you will take the default settings and click on Next. Don't click on Finish. Click on Next. All right. Now, I will be spending a lot of time in the next class trying to explain you this project, this library tab, because we got to go into external jars and we got to get the external jars and all that. So we'll be doing a lot of stuff in there. For now, I just want to draw your attention to the fact that we have to spend some time in here, right? Explain you that. And then just hit finish. So what we have done, according to our notes here, we have to create a Java project, right? You have to give the name of the project, add some external libraries, which I did not do today, but we'll be doing it. So that was step number 1. What is step number 2? Now I have to go and create a class inside that Java project. So here I go. I come to the, now you would say, where is that project? I cannot even see that project. Well, the reason you're not seeing it is because I closed that explorer. The project explorer is what I close. So how am I going to open that? I will go to help, or rather I will go to window. I'll go to window, right? And I will say show view and project explorer. And when I do that, I have all of these, because we have been doing it, all of these, they show up here. But the one which I created right now, right, was day 2, June 2013, Buckaroo sign up. So if you see, I have to expand it. See that sideways triangle? Click on that. It gets collapsed now. Expand, collapse, expand. So right under it, I see SRC as in source. So in this source, highlight the source and right click on that, right, and go and create a new class. So when the class box pops up, we have to enter something, right? Now what you have to do is here, this is the source folder, and in the name you have to give the name of the class. The name of the class is basically something which is and these are the test case or test cases underscore for what? For Buckaroo, right? And if it is you want to do many, so just leave it as test cases for Buckaroo and just give it a date that you started it on 06/13/2013, and this could be like build 1, something like that, right? So this is going to be the typical name of that. So you give the name, and then you hit finish. So what it is going to do is it is going to create this template. Now this is the area where I can go and I can paste my code, which I will copy from IDE. So let me go back to IDE. How do you go back to IDE? Bring up your Firefox, go to tools, go to IDE, and here open that test. So open, and which test? Let's say Buckaroo sign up, and open it, right? And once you open that test, right, now you see a lot of garbage stuff in here. So go back into this table, right? Go back into table, and if you cannot go back into table, probably the settings over here, see into format HTML. Format HTML. Now you go back into the table and open the test again. Let me open the test again. Buckaroo. Okay, here is the test. Let me go to the code, options, format. Which one I'm going to select? It is going to be remote control Java JUnit 4. So when I select that, it says that I'm going to show you the code. Here's the code. Take the whole copy, right? Come here and paste it here. The whole code, you paste it here. Once you paste it here, there are so many red lines, squiggly lines, squiggly, red squiggly lines, so many lines, right? And if you run it, it is not going to run. This is how you will run it, right? So when you run it, it cannot even run because there are so many errors. So this is where we will be starting in the next class. I want you to send me the screenshot of this. So this is how you will take the screenshot, Alt, print screen, and then you will send me, put it in Paint, and send me this. This is the screenshot. So you will do a file, save as, assignment day 2, whatever, JPEG or anything. So this is June. So put your name in there. That way I know. So it is going to be Irfan, right? June 2013, day 2, right? So I saved it. So now email me that. So if I go in here, let me go. I think I saved it in pictures. I as an Irfan. So this is the problem. Where did I save it? I think let me go back into Paint. Open this one. Where did I save it? Save as JPEG. I saved it into TR folder. Yeah, I saved it into TR folder. So let me go into the TR folder here. This is where it is. So I open it, right? So this is, so when you send me, I want to see this. I want to see this. This way, what I will know, that I will see that, okay, this is your name, right? So I will see that, okay, Faisal had done a June 2013 day 2, and this way when I see this, I know that this is Eclipse, so he downloaded Eclipse. I know that this is the project, this is the class, and this is the code. So this code he would have gotten from the IDE. So he did work on IDE. When I look into the code, when I really see this, oh, this is a screenshot of the people. So this is what I see, which you guys don't see. This I see. So basically, this is what I will see when you send me the homework or the assignment. All right. So what I want you to do is, I want you to send me this so that I can see that, okay, with this I know that Eclipse is installed. If I see all of this code, I know that this code was done through IDE, right? So that way I know that he or she did every part of it. And the fact that this is a project and this is a class, I know that you have understood the whole concept. Okay. All right. So I am closing my shop. Let me see if anybody has any questions. Let me look into it. Okay. Thank you. From ID generated code, you copied to Eclipse. Yes, that's what I did. When you watch the video, this video will be up soon. So when you watch it, you will see. Now, for those of the folks who left, they will be watching the video, so you know who you are. So, you have to do this assignment. Usually I give the assignment at the tail end of it, and they disappear about, 4, 5, 10 minutes before the end of the session. And then they say that, oh, you never gave an assignment. I was there for almost 2 hours. Almost 2 hours, but not all the time, because I gave you the assignment at 10:04 and you disappeared. So you know who you are. All right. Anyways, okay. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys next. Today is Thursday. So next Tuesday, which is on 18th. 18th, I will see you. Don't forget to do your assignments. I will see you then. And if you have any questions, post it on the Google group, please, because there are a lot of folks who have done this course earlier. We got some good guys in here. One of that guy, his name is Jeff. He's a very, very nice guy. So he will help you out a lot to all my other students. So if you have any questions, put it in the Google group. Adil, I have people lined up calling me because I gave them a 10 o'clock appointment for some of the things. So I cannot help you. At least today I cannot do it. because I have two people who have taken appointment with me, so I'm helping them. So hopefully you will be able to resolve this. Otherwise, put it in the Google group and somebody else will be able to help you out. Tonight I might not be able to help you. All right. Okay. With that, have a good evening, and we will see you back again next Tuesday. Good night.